I'm here right now and I'm very present in the moment. Can I be emotional? Not at all. I'm just here. But when I feel an emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, grief, helplessness, guilt, where is it transporting me back to? To the past. A miscarriage, usually I've seen that miscarriages are boys. I don't know why.
Oh.
When you've had girls and then you have a boy, it's a miscarriage. I don't know what it is. Maybe somebody has died. And many times it happens, like in Kenya, how many accidents happen tragically. Would you think people have died well? Do you think, like, I wake up in the morning and I am in a good mood and I'm going to work or I'm going to my village, but somewhere something happens and I lose my life? I'm not finished. I was looking forward to going somewhere. How do you think me as a soul or consciousness will feel in that moment? As my body is dead, but it's a shocking thing. So I'm very angry, maybe angry at the bus driver for what happened, angry at even myself, like what happened to me? And I live in that anger.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, dear viewers and listeners. Welcome back to yet another episode of Beauty Lies Beyond podcast with me, Miriam Rose. I am joined today in studio by a returning champion, Kinneri. I will allow her to introduce herself. She's a hypnotherapist, and since the last episode, which we'll link down below in the description, we have had quite a run with her. So we'll tell you all about it in the episode, so stay tuned. Welcome.
Thank you, Miriam. And thank you for introducing me. I'm Kinneri Parekh, a clinical hypnotherapist, transpersonal regression therapist, and a trainer of hypnotherapy, amongst other modalities that I've done, which I integrate in my healing work. And in the last episode, I had briefly talked about my journey and what led me to being here. I am so excited for today and to share more insights as we talk.
Thank you so much for coming back. We hardly touched the surface the last time, so we decided to do another session, which is today. So today, before we delve into the meat of it, I want us to talk about abortion and miscarriage, to talk about death and grief, a bit about energies, which is something we were unable to talk about in the last episode, and maybe a bit more if we have time. But before we start, I want to tell them about my session. Because I took a hypnotherapy session with her. She so kindly gave me a session, and it was it was so interesting. I cried so much. But that was my reaction. It's not like that is the reaction everyone goes to. What happened was I went into my childhood way back when I was in, I think, 12 years, and I was unable to unblock something as I was feeling stuck. That is actually how I went to her with. I went to her with, I needed to help with scarcity, both in money, in mindset, in relationships. So when we went back, I realized that I had been stuck in time, which is what we talked about in the last session. I'd been stuck in time because I realized that at a point when I was 12, there was something that happened to me. And at that age, my mind interpreted it in such a way that made me stuck in time. I don't go to so much details because there are other people involved, but she helped me unstuck myself, if that's even English. So I was able to reconcile with that part of me, that 12-year-old, and we had a whole discussion. And after that session, I can literally say that I have not been feeling that feeling of stuckness. It's something that has been there for a while. So I got myself out from that 12-year-old in 2004, and now in 2026, I am now normal. I feel like I am a whole person. So maybe you can tell us how your experience was during that hypnotherapy session.
I work with energy. That's what I call it. I can't call it anything else.
Yeah.
But because I was working with your mind, your body, and how it was shifting the thoughts, perceptions, beliefs, and emotions in you. And that's exactly what happened. Because when we try to figure out that I'm going through this, what is it that is happening to you? It is all energetic. We can't quantify how you felt. We can't quantify your belief. We can't quantify, like, it's not tangible, but you felt it. And that's
Yeah.
the energy within you. And that was stuck in your subconscious mind. Everything was repressed. And this is what we talked about last time, that subconscious mind is so powerful that what your mind holds, the body also holds. What your mind represses and does not resolve, your body holds those imprints. So when you were allowed or you found yourself going back there, you recalled. The memory was already there, but the memory was attached to feelings that you had not processed at that age in childhood. And the moment you were able to do that, you freed yourself. And so what you freed was energy,
Yeah.
your energy.
That makes sense. Because I even remember feeling like on my back and on my shoulders, I felt like something left. There was just a heaviness that I had that wasn't there anymore, and it's not there. Funny enough, I've been having back problems for so long.
Exactly.
Could that be connected?
Yes, because emotions that are not processed will find a space in the body. And so we say that energy that we are is what impacts our body. So physical discomfort comes from our unprocessed, unhealed thoughts, emotions, what you believed at that time was your truth. And that truth was not the truth, it was a perceptive truth to you. So when you actually saw it from a distance, from your adult place, you were able to get clarity that, okay, this is what I felt and thought in that moment. But that was not the truth, that was your truth in that moment. But that truth carried on because you did not resolve it.
Yeah.
If you had understood it, okay, it was not my problem, then you wouldn't have carried it. But you didn't know and you owned it. So it became your story.
Yeah.
So the moment you resolved it, it's over. Now the body has resolved it. The energy doesn't fester.
I see.
That's how it is.
That's why I stopped being stuck. It's so
Yeah,
interesting. Even
yeah.
when you're talking now, I can literally recall just everything you're saying.
Yeah.
Is it about belief? Is it, someone asked me whether if they don't believe in hypnotherapy, can it work for them?
Absolutely. Because we have an idea that hypnotherapy is mind control, like what we have seen in stage shows and performances where people make you do funny things. Like
Yeah.
that's hypnotism. This is what therapy. And what we are just doing is allowing you to go back to feeling what was stuck, what you hadn't resolved. That's inside of you, and that's hypnosis. It's a state of trance, an altered state, because when we are emotional, we've already regressed back into what made us feel emotional. Say, like today, if I say, I'm here right now and I'm very present in the moment, can I be emotional? Not at all. I'm just here. But when I feel an emotion, whether it's anger, sadness, grief, helplessness, guilt, where is it transporting me back to? To the past.
Yeah.
And the past is already in the mind. So through an altered state, we are only accessing that which we have not resolved, which is stuck and which needs our attention.
And if you don't work on it, it controls you, because for
Yes.
all those years, that small thing that happened has been controlling me. And I don't think there's a way I would have gotten out if you hadn't honestly given me that session, because it's something I've been working on, but it doesn't quite leave. So
No,
it
until
doesn't
you
quite
address
leave.
it.
Yeah.
Until you go back to understand. The whole idea of hypnotherapy is to get an understanding. What you didn't get clarity of then is what you now, as an adult, can understand. because children get cocooned in their own story.
Mm.
Their little mind can only process so much.
True. Yeah.
And then it becomes your life. You know how we call our shadow sides, that it keeps festering, it keeps manifesting, it keeps showing its head. But you
Yes.
really can't do
Yeah.
anything until you go back very lovingly to hold that child, address it, and see what it needed in that moment that it didn't get.
Yeah, I'm feeling
So,
compelled to like share a bit
yes.
about it. For me, at that age, 12 years, okay, something happened in my family, and then I interpreted it as having been my fault. And the thing affected now everyone, including my parents. And since I was daddy's girl, when that thing affected him, I thought it was my fault. So I've lived my whole life since then trying to get validation, and that's just one piece, trying to get validation from him, and trying to, in that moment, trying to make him happy. Because why are you sad? What did I do in that age? So it's been like not good enough. We keep talking about I feel not good enough, and then we think affirmations will help. They don't help. I had to understand what you helped me do. I was able to understand first it wasn't me. I didn't do anything. And I've always been good enough for him. So I've always been good enough. It clicked. It's a clicking moment. It's not a mind thing. It's a realization or a perspective. And I guess that's how I freed myself.
Absolutely. See, when you were cocooned in that feeling that it's my fault, imagine how many coping strategies you've tried to find. And then that becomes your behavior. So every time you're trying to do something, it takes you back to it's my fault.
Yeah.
And you try to overcome it. You can't until you reach that place. That part of you that is so repressed, stuck inside you. And that's the subconscious mind that we have. So just you, in fact, I didn't do anything. You understood it. It was just guiding you there.
You guided me. Yeah. Yeah.
And you understood it. And the moment you do,
Yeah.
it has no control over you. That's the way it is.
It
Which means when your body frees that energy, you can now you can now feel that with a more positive, more empowering energy or choice. Knowing that it was not your fault, imagine how liberating it is for you to free yourself and now make choices that I can live as me, not as that coping strategy that I was.
Yeah.
It's a very liberating feeling.
It helped. I told you this before, like that as feedback. But even then, it's been a few weeks, and I still feel the same. I still feel more powerful. I feel more grounded. I feel more able to say no, more able to have boundaries, which we have talked about in all other modalities. These things I'm getting now that you have to address the root of these things to be able to enforce the knowledge that we have. You can't just imagine boundaries or enforce them if you don't know where you lost the power to have boundaries, for example.
Because you're trying to create the boundary from the conscious mind, means consciously.
Exactly.
And if conscious mind is like my rule, like I'm changing something and I'm thinking about it. But subconscious, the experience is the exact opposite. That is 90%.
Yeah.
6,000 times more powerful. It cannot.
Yeah.
The conscious mind cannot usually override it. Yes, there are people with a lot of willpower who can do a lot of work.
Yeah.
But they are far and few.
Far
A
and
lot of
few.
us are stuck in the subconscious. Yeah.
So it's not about belief. As long as you have a subconscious mind, you might benefit from hypnotherapy.
We all have a subconscious mind.
Yeah, I'm actually just saying that. Anyway, you mentioned energies. Could you tell us a bit more about that? What you mean by that?
When I'm working, what I understand in my learning and knowledge that I've acquired, I know that I have a mind, I have a body, and I have a spirit. And remember, we even briefly talked about, and I gave you the analogy of a computer.
Yeah.
That the hardware is the body, the software is the mind, and the power supply is our spirit. our spirit resides in this body to express itself in its life, basically. Like the kind of life we are having, what we're doing, the spirit is expressing itself. And the mind is that part of us that is feeding into the body as well. So, mind is energy. It's an energy all around us. We cannot tangibly say this is the mind. It's like the software in a computer. Do we know where the software is coming from? It's there, right?
Yeah.
So, the mind and the spirit play a role in now running the body. And what is energy is our thoughts, our emotions, our beliefs, our perceptions. That is all energy, and that's feeding into our body. So, positive thoughts have a positive impact on the body. When we have negative or toxic thoughts or beliefs or perceptions or emotions, they will impact the body in that manner. Which is why, if I give you an example, simple thing like if you think of a very happy time, maybe recently, or maybe you've gone on a holiday, or maybe you've met somebody and it was like the best thing that happened to you, how does your body feel just thinking of that thought?
Like I gave you the example when you came and you told me you were here, I felt a jolt of joy. My body just lit up and I wasn't.
Yeah. So, how did the body feel?
I felt good, enlivened, energetic. Yeah.
And if you think of maybe a sad moment or something that traumatized you and you recall that memory, how does that feel? See, when your breathing has
Down.
just changed.
Changed. Actually remembered a
Yeah.
friend of mine from high school just passed on tragically. It's been in the news with the husband. So I got that news yesterday and that's what came to mind. And it pulls, and may she and her husband rest in peace. It just pulls me down. It changes my tone of voice.
So see how two different ways,
Yeah.
like when we are happy, joyous, elated, our energy is very different in our body. And the opposite happens and our body feels. So this is how the body is run, through energy. This is who we are, energetic beings manifesting in a physical body, basically. We're not the other way around. So that's energy. And energy, we live through our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. Okay. For example, how I am deciding my life today. I think something, I feel. I have a feeling through how I perceive the world in and around me. So then my choices in my behavior, in my day to day living, is dictated by that. So, how I will behave, live every day is dictated by my thoughts, emotions, perceptions, beliefs. And this is all energy that is now running my body. That's how energy and the body fit in together, basically.
That makes so much. There's a way you've changed my perception
Yeah.
that I hadn't seen before. So basically, energy is more superior. It's like for lack of a better word, it's like it's the dominant part of who we are. Then now it's the one that moves the body. Yeah.
That is the thing, that we are all energetic beings. And now, so what happens is, like I just gave you an example of happy thoughts and not happy thoughts. With our thoughts, we create the energy around us, right? And this is the energy that we will flow with, which means our energy that we build is based on our thoughts, emotions, beliefs. So if we have good thoughts, good emotions, kind of grounded, generally balanced, the energy with which we will flow is what we have. When we are emotionally entangled, when our thoughts are not in alignment with who we are, that's the same kind of energy or frequency which we will live with, which means what we manifest in our life is exactly a projection of that, a manifestation of that. So when we talk of energies, like say you and I are here, we are interacting. We are energetic beings and we are interacting. It's a happy energy. So we are giving and taking that happy energy. That's how we are. Imagine that we are in a grip of any emotional stress, maybe anger or helplessness or guilt or fear or anything. It impacts our energy. We're not exactly the way we are meant to be. And so when we are out there, what kind of things will we start attracting to ourselves? Similar things.
Yeah.
Like, see, if we are happy, if you are going through something, and if I'm here, and if I'm sensitive enough, we all are actually, we just don't realize it. I will pick up on your energy. Haven't we felt that sometimes we go into a room and say, oh my, it doesn't feel okay. What's happening here?
Yeah.
Something just strikes us. It's not that we've known anything or done anything. But when we walk into a place where we feel, oh wow, it's nice, like how you said, you thought about me and that energy came. Not that I have anything special, but
Now
this
you
is
are
how
very
it is.
special in my
But
life.
so this is how we are. We are energetic beings and we flow with our energy. So any positive energy gives us that ability to be sort of more grounded, more collected, and our energy space is generally good, balanced. On the flip side, if our energy is not okay through emotional stress, we're weakening it. And now, when we are out there, what are the chances that we are not going to attract similar things?
Yeah.
And directly or indirectly, that will start influencing us.
I have a question. I'm wondering if, putting myself in the shoes of if I were watching this, if I had, let's say I wake up in the morning and I exercise and I put myself in like a high energy, but then maybe I go and find external circumstances that are not exactly very positive. Basically the question I'm asking is how do we, because it feels like a foolproof plan, like if I'm happy, I will attract happy. But sometimes I'm happy and then I'll go find, I don't know, an accident or something negative, external. So what happens then? How do you maneuver that?
Which is why emotional balance is very important. See, inner work, what we did with you, inner work. Had you not resolved this, what kind of energy would you have flowed with? That same
Scarcity.
imprint, right?
Yeah.
But having resolved that, your energy has changed. You're more bubbly, happier. Yes, we encounter things and things shock us. But when we are more in touch with ourselves, what is the time that will take us to get a grip on us?
I see.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
But if I am flowing with fear all the time, and I will manifest or project something that is fearful, maybe a car accident, a robbery, something that frightens me even more. Where does it already take me? And I said in the beginning that when we are under emotional stress, why hypnotherapy is because emotional stress takes us back to where we have not resolved, right? But if we have, say, if I am today, it's not that I'm not going to feel any emotions, but because I have done a lot of inner work, I have recollected many parts of me that were stuck and unhealed. I'm more myself, more present with me today, more sort of whole. Even if I encounter something, the time it will take for me to resolve that, or like remove it, or come back, bounce back, basically,
Yes.
will be much, much less, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
But if you've not done the inner work, if you've not understood or not healed, imagine how entangled you get, and then this keeps playing in your mind over and over and over. It affects our energy, it weakens our energy.
I see. That's very clear. That's very clear, which is good because it's an invitation for people to do inner work.
Yes.
And then it's not just for spiritual people at the corner. It's
Yeah.
everyone. It affects
It's
everyone,
everyone.
including non-conventional people.
Which is why I emphasize do your inner work,
What do you-
resolve your emotions.
If someone came and had you say inner work, what would you describe inner work to be?
Emotional stress. And see, why I say thoughts, how we think based on how we perceive our inner and outer world. We judge, we make perceptions, and we feel. We feel things. And those feelings will create certain beliefs as well, like how I will judge things in and around me. Now, that will create and manifest how I'm going to behave, what my life is going to be like. So, it's going back to changing that. So, hypnotherapy is quite fascinating in that way. Like, I'll give you an example. When I talked about my life, and the reason I started my whole journey was physical issues. I had migraines, I had back issues, I had digestive issues, I had everything, literally. And that was manifesting in my body. But the root cause was it had affected me energetically, it had affected my emotions and how I had thought. So I'm going back to the thought. The origin is how I thought, how I felt, how I believed, and how I manifested that. So any physical issue will now go back into the origin, which is thoughts and emotions. That is where healing starts.
Yeah, that's clear. That's clear. And that's where we need now
Yeah.
help like you
Yeah.
to help us do that. Can someone do hypnotherapy on their own? Do they need someone?
No, we need somebody. I mean, hypnotherapy to heal you can't do, but we have techniques that are an after work, it's after therapy work. I teach people self hypnosis. The reason being, when we're resolving the subconscious mind, we're resolving means removing things that were not working. Now we need to bring that alignment to the conscious mind as well. Like today, if I'm resolving my emotions, then my thoughts also have to change the way I think every day. So to bring that alignment, now affirmations work. So closing the door between the gap between the subconscious and conscious, I give techniques like self hypnosis for people to do after sessions. Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
self hypnosis is a very different way of doing things. What we call self hypnosis is what we do with guided visualizations and things, but it is still hetero hypnosis because you are listening to something. But self hypnosis that I teach or through my institution that I've learned from is you doing it to yourself to change you, your subconscious and your conscious. Yeah, that's a very different technique. But what we do when we're meditating or we're using guided visualizations, that is still somebody guiding you. But now imagine that you're doing this by yourself. You come across something, but you don't know what to do with it. Then, simple thing like it has happened. There are many YouTube videos doing that. They help you connect to your inner child and things like that. But there are deep seated feelings in the body.
yeah,
How do you resolve that? You need
someone to hold
therapist.
the space for you. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, cool. So I love how you say that affirmations eventually work when you bridge the gap between the subconscious
And the conscious.
and the conscious.
Yeah.
So you can't, the conscious can't work without the subconscious being rectified.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Because see, think about it. When you thought that it's my fault, that thing keeps replaying in your mind over and over and over and over. So every day, how are your thoughts? You're trying to avoid it, but it's still there in the back of the mind. It's my fault. So what are your thoughts that are geared towards that? They're coming from there and you're trying to avoid it. So imagine something like, it's my fault. Now you're in the world outside and you say, you don't want to feel it's my fault. So like, okay, you're gauging, what will that person think of me? I don't want them to feel that it's my fault. Now I have to be on my best behavior.
I used to be an overachiever. So I achieve.
So
Get
what are your
burnout,
thoughts like?
then get sick, then don't make my dad happy again, then feel frustrated again, then repeat, and then I'm 34
So,
and I'm like, what is happening?
So imagine what's happening to you, right? Now, just that little healing, and you don't feel it's your fault. What are your thoughts like?
More relaxed,
Correct.
more in balance, what you said about inner balance, and more decisive.
So when you're out there interacting with people or whatever you're doing, what's happening there?
There's no scarcity. A lot of
So what are your thoughts like? Are you gauging people?
No,
You're-
I don't even
exactly,
remember.
Exactly. That's the difference.
That's funny. I
Yeah.
don't even remember that.
That's the
Interesting.
difference.
Oh my God. I hadn't.
So that's the impact. So
I love
now,
that.
see, when you change your subconscious, your conscious mind changes. Now, with self hypnosis, what we're trying to do is subconscious doesn't have to fester with this. Now, you want conscious mind to align with that new reality.
Yeah.
That is how we bring the best affirmation for you that feels right for you in your body and mind to bridge that gap.
Oh gosh. Oh, so you customize it to
Oh yes,
an individual.
we give you. I take you through it. It's still a guided visualization because I want you to get the right keys for you to unlock your mind and body.
I love that.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
and associate your feelings. When your conscious mind associates with the feelings, that is manifestation.
Yes, yes, yes.
That's
Because
how it is.
it
Yeah.
will go on the outside.
Yeah.
External manifestation. Yeah. I think you've closed the gap for me now. I see everything, and I see how when you change your thoughts, you change the energy, it will affect the outcome of your life. I can't wait to live out my full potential because I will attribute it to that inner work that you're talking about. Now I'm able to see it instead of just verbalize it. Because in the spiritual circles, we talk about shadow work, inner work. We just say things, but you don't. You don't connect them.
Correct.
Yeah.
This is about connecting.
Yes.
This is about understanding.
Yeah. Very clear.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go to more controversial topics like abortion and miscarriage. You've told me stories about this, but I wanted to share with our audience. Tell us a bit about that.
It's a heavy
It's
feeling, okay, for any woman to go through, whether it's an abortion chosen or whatever it is, or what made them go that route, or miscarrying something that you're looking forward to. I can maybe give you an example of how it feels. I have had women come to me, and sometimes when we are talking and when I'm taking the history, it does come that I've had this many abortions, and I'll understand what's happening in their life and why, or this many miscarriages women do. Like, there's so much cultural pressure as well, and women do feel that. Many women who, even in our culture, I don't know how it is in the African culture or anywhere else, but boys are very important.
Yeah.
So if you keep giving birth to girls, then it is not acceptable. So I've had people who have miscarried, and I've had people who have aborted as well. That if it's a girl, we don't want it. If it's a miscarriage, usually I've seen that miscarriages are boys. I don't know why.
Oh.
When you've had girls and then you have a boy, it's a miscarriage. I don't know what it is, but so what happens is, let's go back to consciousness. A soul chooses that I want this person to be my mother, but something, the soul has come. Obviously, it will take space in the womb, and this is its space, and it's chosen. Now the mother may be not ready. Maybe something could be not right. I'll give you an example. Girls have come to me when they've aborted. When they were young, they get pregnant and then they've aborted. A few have come where they could not conceive. So they were like, I don't know what is wrong. We need to understand. And we go, for a few, I've gone back to when they were young and they've had affairs and they get pregnant. But now they can't have children. They're still studying and have to go ahead. So they abort.
Yeah.
Physically, they've done the bit. Energetically, if that soul has chosen you to be its mother, and now you're removing it. Of course, the first trimester, the baby is just consciousness. It's not a physical entity.
Okay.
But still, in consciousness, it has left its energy there that this is where I'm coming. You remove it. And maybe in consciousness, the energy hasn't processed or recognized or realized that this is not for me anymore. So it does feel. And so now its flag is there. Like, say, if I put a flag there, its flag
Yeah.
is there. It's not going to allow somebody to come in. That is, you're not conceiving.
Interesting.
So we have to work with the mother for whatever reason it was, connect to the consciousness of the child that they had already been
Booked
pregnant
the
with.
place. Yeah.
So connecting to that child, maybe asking for apology, whatever in consciousness we do, and letting the energy now go. And it has happened, Miriam, that after that, girls have gotten pregnant.
I mean, I can see how that would happen.
Yeah.
So does the baby take back the energy? So you're
Yes,
talking to
yes.
the energy, so
Yes.
the energy leaves. Then
Yes.
now the womb is open again,
Yes,
and
we have to clear energetically the womb. That is, I'm sorry, but this is how it happened. Because the mother also feels guilty. Wherever the girl is, she does feel guilty for what she did. Most of the time, there is that feeling. So we release that feeling. We release the energy of that soul that was meant to be there, and then allow the womb to heal.
interesting.
Yeah.
What causes miscarriages? I don't know if that's a
Miscarriage also happens because, say, if a woman is going through a lot of emotional turmoil, the soul wants to come in and be born through this mother, but doesn't feel very safe because the mother is going through a lot of emotional turmoil. We know that as souls, we have a karmic plan. We have a plan to come on this earth to play out the role or purpose, live out the purpose that we have. Now it chooses a mother. And the mother may be going through a lot of issues inside within her and maybe in her environment. And the soul doesn't feel safe. That no, this is not the right time. Sometimes it happens. This is not the right time. I'm not coming. Let me go back.
okay.
Miscarriage.
Okay.
Many times there are medical reasons as well.
Yeah.
But I'm talking of energetically. It has happened. This is where my work comes in. I'm not talking of medically, but this is where my work comes in. And then I've very few, but I've worked with women who have had miscarriages. And what used to happen is they would never feel okay. Like they would have pains in their stomach, in their abdominal area. Periods would go haywire. There are many things that would happen. So we traced them back to where did it all start and why did it happen? What was going on?
You can give us an example so that people can relate
Yeah.
more.
This was many years ago. I had somebody who she'd had two babies. She was not ready for a third one, but it happened. And she was not in a good space. She was having a very, very difficult marriage. And she could not have managed at all. Emotionally, she was not ready. She actually miscarried not in the first trimester, I think fourth or fifth month, actually. And it was very difficult. Again, she was very entangled. She was in a lot of turmoil. First of all, the guilt that I've lost. I didn't want the baby, but I felt extremely guilty for what has happened. And then her home environment also wasn't good. So there were many things she had come with. And this was one of the things then that came out, that after her miscarriage, her body was not okay. She was going through heavy periods. She had a lot of backache, low backache. And she felt as if the abdominal area was very tight. Like, you know how, I don't know, she in the session, she would just keep holding on to the stomach as if she wouldn't let go. So we just in under an altered state traced it back to what's happening there. And hell broke loose, literally, that, I lost my baby. A baby she was maybe getting used to, kind of, because fourth, fifth month is you already there.
Yeah.
The guilt was festering, the loss, the grief, and then the problems in the family. So she almost lost herself as well. So just resolving that.
So how was it resolved?
So she, through hypnotherapy,
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
just healing that energy, saying sorry to the child that whatever the child felt, and she couldn't hold it because it wasn't her fault. And then she, of course, blames herself. Healing that, healing her guilt, healing her grief. Grief is very deep. Grief is, it tears you into pieces. Grief is grief and the sadness that goes with it. So losing the child, saying, just asking for forgiveness and forgiving herself for going through all this, where she wasn't in control.
Yeah.
She had other issues, like I said,
Yeah.
a bad marriage and everything. So we were working through it.
Yeah.
This was one of them.
I have a question. Are you in that state able to speak to the soul of the child? Because what I'm also wondering is, I know that when the child is choosing to come, the soul of the mother and the child agree.
Yes.
Obviously, when we wake up, we forget.
Yes.
But what happens in this circumstance?
So obviously we cannot, it's a visualization kind of, because we are connecting to consciousness.
Okay.
The child was in consciousness, and of course it got miscarried. So connecting to the consciousness of the child who had chosen this as the mother. Funny enough, when we do sessions with higher self as well, that what was your contract? And the message that came, when the time is right, we will meet.
Oh my! I have goosebumps.
Yeah.
So
Because when we say, when we ask for forgiveness, there is a closure.
yeah. So to be clear, the child and the mother are the ones who had that conversation that when the time is right, we will meet. Is there lack of? Is there like are the especially in back to abortion, are the children angry like that?
Yes.
What?
That's why we say sorry. Because it had already chosen.
Oh, okay.
But in consciousness, when we think, the connection is always love. I can't say beyond that. We come from a place of love. But they do feel the sadness. I can't say angry, but they do feel the sadness that, okay, I missed a chance. Yeah.
Can the child come back to the same mother at a different time?
Yes. It has happened.
Okay.
I've had, and women, I don't know, I guess we have to trust it. But there's one who had a boy, and then she miscarried, and then she had a girl. Okay. So the miscarriage is the girl again. And she's the one who said, oh my God, this is her. I was supposed to have her. But it came after a while when the mother was ready. Yeah. She miscarried because maybe at that time she wasn't ready. But when she was ready, the soul was also ready.
I see. I'm hearing two things. The mother can fail to be ready, and the soul can also change its mind.
Yes.
Interesting. I feel this is important because when I listen to stories of women grieving after they've lost their child, I usually just want to tell them that it's not just it's not anyone's fault. Like, these things happen, and the soul hasn't been lost. The energy, the consciousness, the baby is still there, and they can come back at a later time. All these things can be resolved.
And the key is, see, if we don't resolve, in consciousness, in energy, we're leaving an imprint that will affect the body.
Yeah.
There's things like, I'll give you an example of women, when we go through labor, it's very difficult. It's not an easy job. And women go through the epidural as well, just to give them, numb their pain as they're giving birth. Because they are already very stressed giving birth. And then the epidural comes. The energy is so stark. I have had women come and they keep saying, I have a pain here that never goes. No matter what I do, I just keep having this sharp pain. I have helped women resolve that energy of the epidural as well.
So you just let dissipate the energy.
Yeah, so we have to say epidural is like an anesthetic. It is numbing, right?
Yeah.
Now, when an anesthetic is put, it is like that part is dead. That part has no no sensation.
Yeah.
So now we reverse that.
There's another story you told me about the children who might come as different abled when maybe they find. I think there's something you were trying to explain last time. I think when they find the energy hasn't been moved and then they come still and they're born. Remember that?
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
can tell
Oh,
us. You
yeah,
can share
yeah.
that.
So this is again connected to either miscarriage or abortion, and they like the child has left the flag, but now the mother gets pregnant again. The child hasn't left or resolved. It's still maybe feeling like it's part of or it's not gone anywhere. The child has left. It's miscarried. It doesn't have the energetic imprint remains, and then the mother becomes pregnant again. The energetic imprint of that child can influence the new child as well.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, yeah.
How? Just explain because I understood, but I want them to understand.
It's quite fascinating, and it has happened that there are children who they're not little babies, but children who are maybe 1 or 2 years old, and the parents realize that they are very hyper, like they are ADHD. I don't know. These are terms that they stock. I won't call them ADHD, but very hyper. Like they have almost bipolar tendencies. Like 1 minute they are this, and 1 minute they are this. So I have to work through the mother. I cannot work with a little baby. So going back and understanding, this is again therapy, what has happened to the child, because we check the energy space of the child, what's making the child kind of be sort of different behavior, like they're displaying different behavior, and we check in the energy space and we realize something doesn't belong to them. So what is it that doesn't belong to them? And I find that, oh my God, this had happened. It is from another space.
Is it that energy of the previous baby attaches to this
Yes.
new person, new baby?
Yeah. Because the baby feels it's mine. So the baby has its own personality, then this other energy has its own personality.
I don't know why that's funny. That's crazy.
Yeah. So it is possible to resolve.
So
but we do it through the
mother.
Yeah.
So in this case, I imagine you would again release this energy back in time. It's like you travel back in time when you release
no, we
the
have
energy.
to tell this baby the energy of that other child. This space is not for you anymore.
Yeah.
Like you don't exist. This is not your space. So very lovingly, which we, like I said, in soul world, in consciousness, there's only love. We resolve because there is a lot of wisdom there already. They are not babies, as in a baby doesn't have wisdom, but the soul has the wisdom.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's connecting to that wisdom.
Interesting. Okay, so the baby went back to normal. Your case.
So it changes. Something changes.
Yeah. Really. Okay. I have so many thoughts, but that's interesting. It's important for women to know this and also realize it's not a moral issue.
It's not.
What advice, having gone through all those examples, would you give women generally who've gone through those two situations?
I would always say we need to do our inner work. We need to recognize what's happening in our lives. It's not just about coping and navigating and finding other routes and paths to overcome what we are going through. It's being present with ourselves enough to know there is a problem and this problem is affecting me. And I want to do something about it. Many of us, even today, want to put everything under the carpet like it's okay. It's not okay. It's affecting your body, it's affecting your life, it's affecting things around you. So understand it and find a safe space to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned a bit about grief and death and also attachments. I don't know which one to work on first, because I don't know if we talked about this last time, but you were explaining to me that because everything is energy, another entity or an energy can latch on to a soul. Like you gave the example of the child. So would you maybe say a bit about that for people to understand and maybe avoid it if they can?
So, obviously, when I talked initially, we talked about how thoughts, emotions affect our body,
Yes.
our
Yeah.
energy system. So, good thoughts, being present is good energy. On the flip side, negative thoughts, toxic emotions affect your energy. Now, many people today are in a lot of emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
And then we resort to routes like drinking, drugs, other behavior, and we're not in control of ourselves. Clearly, our energy is weak.
Yeah. Yeah.
For example, say somebody is drinking a lot to numb their pain, whatever they're going through. Their energy space is very weak because we're trying to numb what we can't address. In here, maybe there is something, maybe somebody has died. And many times it happens, like in Kenya, how many accidents happen tragically. Would you think people have died well? Do you think like I wake up in the morning and I am in a good mood and I'm going to work or I'm going to my village, but somewhere something happens and I lose my life? I'm not finished. I was looking forward to going somewhere. How do you think me as a soul or consciousness will feel in that moment? As my body is dead, but it's a shocking thing. So I'm very angry, maybe angry at the bus driver for what happened, angry at even myself, like what happened to me. And I live in that anger. I may also be sad that I haven't seen my family who I was going to see. So these emotions may resonate with somebody who has weak energy and is trying to find a way to figure out what to do because I'm not okay. What are the chances that they cannot come with resonance? Like here I am, if I talk of, say, two clouds, this is a cloud that is just left the body and doesn't know what to do. And here is a cloud who is so entangled in their own turmoil, but resonating with similar emotions. And in beyond the body, of course, we are limitless. So it takes a moment, like less than a moment, to find that this person may be able to help me figure out something. Or maybe an avenue for me to now go to the light. It could be anything. How easy is it to attach myself?
So what happens after they attach,
They directly or indirectly influence you.
for example?
Have I talked about this? This is again, I've got this not just once, but quite a few times. This was a person who had come to me. He was in his probably early 30s or something. And he was struggling in life. Business wasn't working, life wasn't working. No matter what he tried, things were just not working. And he just didn't have an avenue, didn't know what to do. And he said, I don't know what's happening to me. This was my first session with him. And just under hypnosis, like I didn't take you into hypnosis, this was regression.
Yes.
But in a state of, I do use a guided imagery or visualization. And as I was trying to relax him, and he says, my body is like a log. I can't move. And literally on the hypnotherapy chair, he just stood there. He was just there, not stood, like lying there. He cannot move his body. What's the natural thing? Obviously, I know. So I had to, only his eyes and what he was saying was moving. Beyond that, his body was. So obviously, I know if it's like a log, it's a dead body. So I had to ask him, so who am I talking to? Who is this who's in this body who's dead? And his father came up. And his father died when he was very young, a little boy. But the father was very worried that how are they going to make ends meet? Because now he was the sole breadwinner. So the father attached to him that I'm not going anywhere till you find your path.
My God.
And so everything, the boy had his own personality, his own path, his own things. He wanted to flourish in his life. He had his own purpose, his own career. But he couldn't settle because that was not his father's agenda.
My God.
No jokes. So when we resolved that, let the father go lovingly. After literally, this is within 3 months, not even more, he messaged me that he's working now.
Yo.
This was a few years ago, not recently, but
Yeah.
I've had many of those, but this is just one example that physically we can see the signs. And he is working in a job he's very happy with.
Yeah, because now it's himself. It's not
He's
his
himself,
dad.
what he wanted to do.
Oh my. So the father consciously attached himself. Like,
Because the father was worried. And the boy was also losing a father at a very young age. It's very traumatic.
also they have
So
a codependence.
there is a resonance that now the father wants to, and he's the only son.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So where will the father go, having left the child at a very young age?
Can it happen to someone? So this makes sense. Can it happen to someone who is a stranger? So can I, God forbid, attract or resonate with a soul where we don't have any relationship?
Yes.
What would have had to happen for that to happen?
You know what I have encountered? Sometimes souls want to go to the light. They know. They've died and they've died. But maybe it took them a while to recognize that, okay. But now, so what happens actually, let me tell you. This is also from the Tibetan Book of Dead, but this is our work primarily in hypnotherapy and regression.
Yeah.
When a soul dies, they get 72 hours within which they can now go to the light. What we say the bardo, meaning the other side. So the gate of that bardo closes after 72 hours. Then you don't have an avenue. And this is actually, I think it is. I've not read the Tibetan Book of Dead, but this is where the knowledge is coming from. And this is again our practice in our work.
Yeah.
So when 72 hours are over, now this the soul has nowhere else to go.
Yeah.
So now they are suspended here, but it's trying to find a way out. So many times what happens, and I've not encountered it, this is through stories of other people as well. In hospitals, when people are dead and there is a surgery happening or people are dying, these people will piggyback as well, that you're going to the light, I'll come with you. It happens. This is, we don't see things, so we don't know.
Yeah.
But if there is a resonance and they feel that this person might help me, or I need to finish something, like say, if you are, like I said, you are in an emotional turmoil,
Yeah.
and this person feels that I'm also not okay, but you can help figure out for me something that I've not finished, they will attach to you.
There's a book I read, Dolores
Yeah.
Cannon. I think it's him or someone. I've read many books. So that there's this person who passed on and they were not ready to go because then they attached themselves to this person, now the person who's alive, and this person's problem was obesity.
Yes.
And then when they it's not her, it's someone else. When they were under, the soul that attached is the one that was like confessing that they were vicariously eating through this person. So the only way she could stop she could stop being obese is for this soul to now go into the light. And soon after, her weight went back to normal.
This is what happened. So during COVID, I had seen a few of those. I mean, literally, some behavior just changes immediately, and that's unusual. So this we was a middle-aged man who had come to me, and a relative of his had died during COVID.
Okay.
So this guy was a non-vegetarian, Indian, but non-vegetarian. And then when we were just chatting, he says, but I don't know, I have this sudden urge to eat meat all the time. So I asked, like, what happened and when did it happen? What around? So again, tracing back, like there is something unusual that had happened around the time he started doing this, and we realized that he had lost his cousin to COVID, who was a non-vegetarian.
So the cousin attached.
Yeah, COVID was difficult for people. And sometimes you don't come into acceptance of what has just happened because the death was difficult. Like when you can't breathe and you die.
I know these things. It's so funny that you're sitting across from me telling me these stories, because when I read them in the book, I'm just like, this is crazy.
No,
but
this
if you've
is reality.
experienced
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
people can actually attach to you and live through you.
Yes.
Yeah.
It happens. My sister lived through me.
Oh yeah, she lived through you. So it's actually a real thing.
It's real. The confusion that I had felt all my life was not mine. And the moment this was resolved, I am a different person. That's the reality. This is the difference.
How can someone know whether they have an attachment, and how do you create energetic boundaries to prevent that?
Many times, we say casual things, but we don't realize. And we say, but this is not me. Then who is it if it's not you? This is unlike me. You understand that you know something within you that I don't do things like this. Then what's wrong here? It happens. And for me, what actually, I was in shock anyway. It was not me, but I was in shock in that moment. So clearly, I was not in control of me. And my sister at that time was in shock, frightened, confused. I was the nearest person that she could come to because of the moment of what had just happened. So many times it happens like that. Like I said, people go through a lot of emotional turmoil. They are not themselves. This is where it happens. The key to everything is emotional balance and grounding, presence, and your energy space to be in a good space. You have to have your clear boundary with your energy. But you can only do that when you are in connection with yourself, actually.
So you even have to know who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You need to know yourself.
Half the time we don't even know because we are just emotionally entangled. How many times we get triggered over and over and over with everything. So then what's happening there? We're not in control.
You're not in control. So you have to go back to the root and work your way back, have the balance, and then avoid the resonance with low vibe. Can you connect with high vibe people? Like angels. I want to be connected to attach to an angel.
They're all there with us. We just, because we are so physically oriented, we don't know the world beyond, energy world.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, people who are clairvoyants or people who are clairaudience and clairsentience, what are they doing? They're connecting to higher beings. They're always there.
That's similar. Okay, I have one last question that cropped my mind. During seances, I don't know whether you know when, during the psychic, people who are psychic and they are calling in people, relatives, do you know what happens? Like, is it that soul that comes into this person and speaks through them? Is it the same?
Oh, this is like consciously recalling, like we are using something to recall because somebody has the ability to do that. Yes, it's possible.
I'd really like to, I think, learn more about that, but that's a rabbit hole.
It's debatable, but it is possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyhow, we need to wrap up because we could talk forever. Thank you for sharing those stories. I hope people will take this seriously. It's not. She has practiced. You've practiced for how long?
This is my 12th year.
12th year. She's done this for 12 years, so it can't be a joke. Like, because some people love to dismiss things, and I'm like, oh well.
No, this is my 11th year. Sorry, 11th
over a
year.
decade. Yeah,
over a decade.
So you've actually experienced these things.
Yeah,
and we are trying to help people understand and do something about their emotional balance and emotional boundaries and energetic balance and energetic boundaries so that they can live from their true self, from their true perspective, from their true potential. So please come for hypnotherapy sessions. That's the long
We
and
have
short
to
of
have
it.
more conversations like this.
Yeah.
Honestly, yeah, there is a lot. I mean,
There's
it's
so
too wide a
much.
subject.
We didn't
Yeah.
even damn. But do you have any final words before we close on this?
I'm very grateful that right now we can be able to freely talk about topics like this, which are very, very important. It's about understanding. It's not voodoo. This is the reality we live with. So, yes, my earnest wish is for people to understand and do something about it. If you feel you have issues, if you feel you need a safe space, do reach out. I'm very happy to help.
Where can they find you?
I have my Facebook page, Instagram page, my website. My brand name is Soul Sanctuary, but I operate as Kinneri Parekh. And if you check me out on Instagram, my handle is Kinneri Parekh, and you will find more information there about the work that I do.
Thank you. So I hope you've had. I hope you reach out. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask. And please share this with someone you think might be assisted. And until next time, kwaherini.
Goodbye, everyone.